My fellow Goatama-tards. My fellow Goatama-tards out there, man. This is a non-spoilery video, so you have no worries. We are going to talk about the amazing announcement that we got last night. So my camera was dead last night. I was going to do an extreme hype video last night. I was yelling, I was marking out, I was just, because, man, it's our beloved Goatama. And it is getting a new movie. Now we know what the new movie is. The new movie apparently is going to be a continuation and the finale to the series. And I can confirm that because the screenshots that they showed are clearly from the end of the series. They're actually from my favorite chapter in the entire series, which is the second to last chapter in the series. And for you anime onlys who know how much I love Gintama episode 305, there is something that happens later on in the manga that I find on the same level and sometimes even higher than that. That's just how incredible Hideaki Sirachi has been at consistently keeping a series at an incredible quality, to where I feel like the end of the series might be the best content in the entire series. And that's quite incredible, man, because we know how much greatness has been in the series. But the fact that the end of the series is going to be getting its own movie adaptation is absolutely insane to me. Now, of course, along with that hype, there are some concerns that I have. The anime ended in chapter 686, from what we saw. The manga ended in chapter 704. Now, in normal Jump chapters, I would say okay. Or if it were to continue the normal chapter count for Jump, I would have been like, okay, I can see it. I can see it. Because the normal chapter count for Shonen Jump is around 18 to 20 pages. So around, what is that? Almost 20 chapters at 18 to 20 pages. I'd be like, okay, we can make a movie out of that, because this would not be the first time that they have converted around 20 pages, around 20 chapters of material into like 5 episodes. 5 episodes like a movie. You know, that wouldn't be the first time. So as long as, and we know, we believe in Bandai Namco Pictures to pace certain things really well and whatnot. But in this case, it's different. From chapter 698 to 704, the chapters are around 40 to 60 pages long. So with that being said, there's a concern that there's going to be some cut content from all this stuff. Now, what I will give BNP to how they're going to do this is that a lot of those chapters have pages upon pages filled with no dialogue and just the panels. Just the panels, what is going on, where the actions speak louder than words, where the panels speak louder than any dialogue could. And a lot of pages, especially from the 700s onwards, are like that. So if they decide to capitalize on that and show those very quickly, I could see how all this can fit. But at the same time, because they're making a movie out of this finale, they're going to need to introduce the film in a way that somebody who's watching this for the first time can understand what is going on. So they're going to need to dedicate time to recap and to normal Gintama trolling before they head into the actual finale of the story. So there has been a certain situations been brought to mind where you could do an anime. You could do an anime to cover all the way up to the end of the Jump series, and then do a movie on the Giga Jump portion / app Gintama, which is from 699 to 704, and let that be the movie, which can definitely work. But if they do the anime and then the movie, I'm pretty sure they would have already announced the anime. You know what I'm saying? Had they already had that in mind, they would have been announced the anime, which is why I'm a bit skeptical on that part of this entire thing. Of course, I'm very, very excited. I mean, like I said, some of my favorite content in the series in movie quality, it's going to look phenomenal. And we've already seen some preview shots of the way it's going to look. It looks fantastic. So I'm really, really excited to see all of that in movie quality. But like I said, there is a cause for concern when it comes to some stuff being skipped. Now, granted, a lot of that stuff is very comedic and is very It's like classic Sriracha comedy, which of course we can come back to later on. But I feel like with the way that it wraps up certain character arcs and certain things in Sriracha fashion, I feel like they can't skip it. And I feel like it's very, very important to where we get to later on down the line in the story. Because those chapters leading up to those serious chapters at the end, or the final chapters of Jump, that are very, very comedic, those chapters, at the end of the day, even though they are classic Sriracha comedy, and the way that we know Sriracha does it, within his comedy, he has those emotional little moments and those beats that we've come to love so much from his writing. And through that, we got connected to certain characters and truly got to see the resolution of certain character arcs there. And I feel like you cannot leave that out whenever you're talking about the end of the series. So that's why I'm just thinking and trying to speculate on how it is they're going to handle this entire thing. I don't know how they're going to do it. Regardless, in either way, I'm excited. Like, at first, whenever they first announced it, I didn't know that it was going to be an adaptation of the final chapters, because that was revealed later on that night. But at first, I thought it was going to be either a recreation of a story arc, or it was going to be one of three things: a recreation of a story arc, like a Yoshiwara, a Four Devas, a Shogun assassination, Farewell Shinsengumi, all that stuff in the anime, or I'm sorry, in movie form, like kind of the same way they did Benizakura. Or I thought it was going to be an anime original story, kind of like what Be Forever Yodozuya was. But the third one, with it covering the rest of the manga, is something that I had like at third, because I was like, you know what, I think they would save that for the anime, because of course they want to bring in the TV ratings, say this is the actual end of the thing. But no, they went far and beyond. They said they're going to make it a movie, which to me is very fascinating. Like, holy flagnarts. The movie, bro. A movie ending, which to me can work. It really can. If they pace it correctly, and they give the amount of time allotted, which I'm going to assume is going to be an hour and a half to 2 hours of screen time, it can work. We can get a very proper conclusion to the anime on screen. But no matter how they do it, we're going to have cut content. So I feel like from now, if there really is going to be no other season, and it's just this movie, we're going to have to live with the fact that some of that content was cut out. But we got an end. We got our end to the series in movie format. So I feel like in order to sacrifice all that beloved content being animated, we're going to have to say, you know what? At the very least, we got the end of our series animated and done. Because there's a lot of other series that wish they could have this type of commitment from their studio. A lot of other series that still don't have an end to their series in the anime. A lot of other manga that were just left in limbo in the anime. But the fact that Gintama is getting the end of its series in movie form shows how much Japan cares about this series. And so I feel like even if they cut out content, and I understand if you have mixed feelings on that, because I do too, but from here until then, we should definitely, at the very least, be grateful for the fact that we're getting those chapters that we love so much in movie form. Because like I said, it's not a treatment that every other series gets. So we'll see what happens. Of course, we'll keep up with the news and see if they're going to continue the anime to cover the rest of the Jump stuff, or if they're going to really do as much as they possibly can in this movie. So we will see what happens. I am very, very excited. Very, very excited for this. Of course, we're going to be getting this way later on the line than Japan does, as usual, when it comes to these type of things. But at the very least, we know that it exists, it's happening, and we are getting a new Gintama movie that is going to cover the end of the series. The finale of our beloved Gintama is getting an ending. It is actually getting an anime ending in movie form. And the only other series that has ever gotten this type of treatment is Evangelion. Or from what I can tell, I'm not into that many anime to know that. But the only other series that I know of that I've gotten into, even though the television version of the ending fits the series very, very well in episode 26, the end of Evangelion is a true ending to the series. So with Gintama in this case, I do wonder if they're going to troll, because Sriracha loves trolling and loves talking about and parodying Evangelion. So I hope that the poster for it it's an end of Evangelion, and like the thing is literally called the end of Gintama. Like that would be great. I would love that so much, because it would keep the parody aspects of it while also staying true to Gintama and how the way that the series is. That would actually be awesome. But we'll see what happens. Of course, we'll continue to cover the news here on the channel, but that's just my thoughts on it. Like I said, super, super stoked. The 700s is some of my favorite stuff in the entire series. But I am looking forward to seeing how they're going to adapt it in a way to where they cut out the least amount of content possible, in order to give us a satisfactory and very good viewing experience for what is about to happen and what we're about to get in this movie. But I'm stoked, man. I cannot wait. Dude, do you know what it is? For those chapters that I love so much, for those chapters that I absolutely adore, those chapters that we absolutely adore as a community, to be animated in movie quality, given the time to go all out. And we know how long they've been working on this because that's the same preview that we saw earlier this year, before we got the manga version. That means that Sriracha must have handed off his notes a long time ago for what was about to go down. And the fact that we're getting that in movie quality, my goodness, man. And it fits, and it's so good. Because, I can't talk about that because that would be a spoiler. But just know that to me it just fits having a movie type of ending. It really, really does. And so, I can't wait. I know a lot of you can't wait either. Of course, I hope that we get it over here as soon as possible. Or at the very least have a way to watch it. Like if Crunchyroll could pick it up. Or whoever has the rights to Gintama at that point in time, which I think still will be Crunchyroll, can put out at the very least a movie with subtitles as quick as possible. We would appreciate that so much in Gintama fandom, man. We really, really would, because we want to see our beloved series have its possibly in animated form. But we'll see what happens, man. Like I said, there's definitely some mixed feelings when it comes to certain things, cut content, possibly not being able to see the entirety of the rest of the manga. But at the very least, we know that that final stretch is 100% going to be in that movie. 100%. So I'm excited for that. Can't wait to see more developments and more news coming out for this movie. But I'm super stoked, man. It's gonna be so much fun. Dude, if this goes right, I can say proudly, ladies and gentlemen, after you finish the Gintama anime, to have that conclusion to the series, you've got to watch the Gintama movie, the end of Gintama in movie form. It's gonna be so cool. Oh, how do you watch Gintama? What is the watch order for Gintama? I'll be like this, and the final one is the movie, the end of Gintama. Yeah, I hope to be proud of it to that level, man. But a huge thank you to BNP, a huge thank you to Sunrise and the entire studio for having the commitment and for really caring about Gintama to the point to where we're actually getting a proper conclusion to the series. And not only that, we're gonna have a movie for it, man. Like, we're blessed as Gintama fans, bro. I know that we wish there were more people into the series. We wish that Gintama was more popular over here in the West. But man, we've got to be grateful for what we have, man. I mean, Gintama continuously, even through all of the ups and downs with its issues with all the people that constantly rag on it, like the politicians and people who want to take it off the air, it still manages to somehow stay on the air. And even with all that, man, the studio cares about it so much that they're going to give it a proper conclusion, which is something that not every studio gets, man. So I'm so happy that Goatama is going to have that type of ending, and I can't wait to see the way that they handle it. And it looks gorgeous from what we see off the preview images. But I hope everybody has an awesome rest of a day, man. I tried to stay as spoiler-free as possible. If I said anything, I greatly apologize. But just know that if you're an anime only, you have quite a treat in front of you, dog. You have some greatness ahead of you. This is going to be absolutely insane, and I cannot wait to see how it's going to go down, man. But anyways, I hope all of you have an awesome sauce of a day. Take care. Goatama, awesome sauce, man. We're getting a movie for the ending, man. Let me know what y'all think about this entire situation, scenario, and I look forward to discussing this in the comments with everybody, man. Peace out. Goatama greatness.